extra time.
Are you expecting to be fast-tracked back into the side, and are you fully fit?
We've got a training session today and tomorrow, so I can't give you any more indication of where I'm at. I haven't ran the last couple of days, but after today and tomorrow, will probably give me a better indication of where I am. Am I going to be 100%? Highly doubtful, but I'll be doing everything I can to get on that park and play. And even if that means I'm not 100%, I'll be doing everything I can to let the selectors give me that green light.
Given what you've been through, how you've gambled and gone out of the bubble and employed some unconventional sort of rehab theories, can you put a number on where you're at the moment, percentage-wise, for your fitness?
Yeah, look, I think at the moment I've had a couple of jabs recently to get me sort of pain-free. The first 2 weeks were quite challenging. It was quite difficult just to move around in bed and like getting in and out of a car. So the first jab that I had was to get me a bit pain-free and allow me to do some rehab, which I was able to do. Jumped in an oxygen or hyperbaric chamber just to get some sort of oxygen in through, obviously in the blood, to try and heal that process, and some penguin cryotherapy, which is just to basically ice and sort of put on that sort of tendon area to try and fast track that as well, because I don't know if any of you guys out there have put some peas between your legs before. It's quite painful. So for me, that the penguin machine that they had just isolated it on the point, so it was good for me that first 2 weeks. But yeah, the last sort of 2-3 weeks is getting that rehab done. Try to be pain free, but when it comes to these tendon sort of issues, they hang around for quite a while, and it's quite hard to get through that pain threshold. So I'm trying to manage that, and we're doing everything we can to fast track that rehab process.
Who makes the final call, mate? If you go to Justin and say that you're right to go, will he play you, or does the physio need to tick it off, or what's the process from here?
Yeah, Jeff, I think it's about being smart on this occasion. I think it's, if I feel like I can do my duties, whether it's stand in the slips court and take catches to my right and to my left, not be a hindrance there in that aspect as well with the field, because it's 50%. I think that's probably where it's going to determine whether I do play or not. I know I can manage the running between wickets. I know I can manage the shot making that I have. It's whether or not that I'm able to have that capacity of catching the balls left and right of myself. And even with Gazza bowling, am I going to field it first slip or leg slip? I've got to be agile enough to make sure I'm taking those chances, because if I'm not, given the 50% of the time we're out in the field, I don't want to be dropping those chances and not giving our team the best chance at taking them. So I think that's what it'll come down to.
You said that there are a couple of training sessions after which you'll be able to tell us more. Just wanted to know, like, in a situation like this, where probably there is a bit of a compulsion, they're pushing you in, even if it's not 100%, what are the kind of shots? Like, would you be able to play those cover drives or stretch on the offside, or probably there's a limited shot making and you are mentally preparing yourself for a limited range of shot selections in case you're not 100%?
Yeah, well, batting in the nets the other day, it probably actually helped me, because I had to wait for the ball to be in my actual area and I didn't have to throw my hands at it. So it'll actually make me play nice and tight. It's funny in saying that. So look, for me, it's, you're going to have some restrictions here and there. But at the end of the day, it's about myself. And I think when you get into the game, adrenaline takes over as well. So you sort of, you don't cast any doubt over the fact that you can't play those shots. At the moment, yeah, there's a few sort of shots where if you're lunging or for me, it's about my speed between wickets. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter about what shots I can and can't play. It's about the drop and run, helping the other guy at the other end get off strike. They're the things that I work on, and they're the things that I like to be 100% fit for. In this case, I'm most likely not going to be, but I'm going to have to try and work out myself in the nets how I'm going to manage that. And that's the most important thing to myself and this team.
I mean, watching on for the first two tests, the run rate's been unusually slow. India's sort of plans have looked like they've really cramped Australia. Just what have you made of them? And, have you sort of got a few ideas cooking that you can sort of, to make sure you can, keep the scoring ticking over and try and build that little bit of intent that maybe hasn't been there so far.
Yeah, Sam, I've been talking to a few of the guys, and they've been saying that they've been hitting a nice length. So the lengths are, are the key to Australian wickets, whether to drive on the up, to allow the ball to come onto the bat, drop and run, apply that pressure. There's probably been a little bit of that's missing. And I think it's not just from our side, from both sides. And I think that's where in Test cricket, as I said before, you can't allow great attacks to dictate you as a batsman. It has its challenges, definitely, by all means. But sometimes you have to play outside the square and a little bit brave. And I've always said it from day dot, I'd rather go down swinging than sitting there on the crease. And I think if I'm able to get up and get out there, I'll have that intent as I always have. And applying a little bit of pressure there can actually release the tensions up the other end as well, and to help your partner out. So that's the pressure you need to apply back. But on the flip side of that, if they're bowling well, you have to respect that. And I think that's what's happened in the last two tests. Both attacks are bowled so well that batsmen have got into that period of, okay, let's try and bat time. And then it's obviously dictated that run rate, but you can't do anything about that. If the attack is going well, you're going to have to play a shot somewhere. And, whether or not you get out or you hit that for a boundary, it's one or the other. You nick off, someone says it's a bad shot, but if you hit it for four, it's a great shot. So that's the thing that we face in this game. So, and that's why I guess I love it, because I live by the sword, die by the sword when I'm out there with the bat.
You spoke about counter-attacking against this kind of attacks. So how much of that could be a premeditated decision as a team, or is it left to the individuals going out in the middle and taking a call there?
Well, my 84 test matches have been premeditated about going after the attack. So nothing changes for myself. But for the team, it's about how they want to go about it themselves. And when we say, I talk about body language, it's an intent. It's not about going out there and taking to them with the willow. It's about having intent and building pressure back on the bowlers that way. It's not going out there and just swinging the bat. There's other ways of showing intent. And I think putting pressure on them with that can lead to the odd full pitch ball, the old short pitch of a length where you can try and pull or cut. That's what I talk about when I'm talking about applying pressure back on the bowler, not just going out there and playing your shots.
What's JL been like since the loss, and does India's quick bounce back after their captain went home and Shami broke his arm? Does it show that momentum isn't necessarily that big a thing in a series, that teams can quickly recover from losses like you guys had?
Yeah, I've only seen the coach a couple of times, and we haven't had any meetings or anything like that since I've been into the bubble. But he seems pretty good as always. I think the guys might have got a speaking to the other day. I'm not too sure. I haven't really asked any of those questions. It's just more about coming in and gelling in back with the guys, and trying to create a bit more of myself, a bit more energy. I know for myself, it's about bringing energy to this team and squad, and we'll probably see that today. I think you look at where we are. It's 1-1. India came back. I think everyone thought that they might not have been with the captain leaving, but like any occasion, you find that spirit in yourselves to get up when an important player like that leaves the environment and leaves quite a big hole. You saw what they're capable of, and they're not going to get that foot off the throttle, that's for sure, coming to Sydney. So we know what we're going to be up against, and we're going to be well prepared for that.
Looking at how Australian batters have performed, if you are under some pressure with the team banking upon you to deliver after the Boxing Day test defeat.
Okay, yeah, I don't think there's any pressure on myself at all. It's about all of us doing what we know we can do and what we're capable of. It's 1-1, as I said in the series. There's always going to be pressure, but there's no extra added pressure for myself to come in and do my job. I know what I have to do, and I go out there every time with confidence to try and deliver as best as I can, and that's what I set out to do every time I walk out the bat for Australia. So I don't think there's any added pressure at all. It's about us as a team collective doing what we do best and what we're capable of doing best. Come the Sydney Test.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.